Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. It's time for another fails and faves video. In these I go over the favorites and the fails from the last month when it comes to beauty, personal care, that kind of stuff. I am actually a little bit overdue for these. Today's video will be a tad bit longer because I have 2 months of fails and faves in here. I got a little bit behind on filming schedule after vacation, then we had some sickness and all these unforeseen things. And on some weekends, I just made an executive decision to rest instead of constantly work. These are going to be in no particular order. The first one is a fail, and I had really high expectations for this one. This is the Sun by Me Yuja Niacin Brightening Sleeping Mask. Now, I heard a lot of really good things about this one from James Welsh. He's another creator who mentions Korean beauty quite frequently, and sometimes we agree on things and sometimes not so much, but he really likes this one, so I thought I'd try it, especially since I really enjoy the rest of the Yuja line. I really like their peeling gel, I love their serum, I like their cleanser, so I thought I would like this as well. It smells wonderfully like citrus, but that's about where the pros end for me. It's a very thin gel-like moisturizer. I wouldn't even necessarily consider it a sleeping pack. I'm used to sleeping packs being a little bit thicker and a little bit more nourishing. Oh, it smells really good. It looks like this. You can see how thin it is. Unfortunately, it stays so tacky on the skin for so long. It is sticky to the touch hours after application, to a point where I'm sticking to the pillow. And while maybe I would have seen great brightening results from this with consistent use, I just cannot bring myself to use this consistently because of that tackiness. Now, I've also tried it on my body because sometimes with the last step of skincare, like a sleeping pack, if I have a ton of layers beforehand, maybe that's what's causing the tackiness. Maybe it's not the fault of the product. Maybe it's the whole routine together not working. So sometimes I'll take a product like that and apply it on my body, like on my legs, without anything else before it. Just take a bath and then apply something like this. Well, this is super sticky even on the legs. In fact, it's worse on the legs because then I'm sticking to my blanket and my sheets, and it's such a bigger area of the skin than just the face. So I don't know, I'm kind of slowly trying to use it up, but I don't love it. I just don't love it. So it's a fail for me. A huge win is this Petitfee lip oil. This is actually not a new product for me. I first tried it in 2018 and I loved it. The packaging looks slightly different and the applicator was a fuzzy doe foot. This time it's a flat spatula. I prefer fuzzy doe foot applicators, but I know that some people who use these over makeup like the wipeable spatula, because if you put it over lipstick, you can then wipe off the spatula and not have that lipstick pigment contaminate the rest of your product. Regardless of all of that, I can live with the spatula redesign, that's fine. The product is fantastic. I had some very unfortunate lip experiences here in the last few months where I had an oil that I had really high hopes for and it really sucked, and then some lipsticks that really weren't doing it for me. So I wanted something good, and I thought, okay, this one, it's been years, I don't know if they reformulated, the packaging looks different, I'll try it again. It did not disappoint. It is so good. It's glossy like a lip gloss, but it smells like honey, and it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I feel like this actually brings dry lips back to life a little bit better than sleeping masks. I like sleeping masks for locking in hydration overnight, but what is it locking in if there is no hydration to start with? Oils aren't necessarily hydrating, but they can be nourishing in a different way than sleeping masks. So I like using these together, or sometimes just this one, and I don't just use this at night, I use this during the day as well. I think it looks really good. And it smells wonderful, but does not have a taste at all. It might be one of the very few lip products I actually finish. This little unidentified bottle is the Cosrx Dual Essence. And the reason that it looks so naked right now is because it had a little plastic shrink wrap thing around, and you know, I took off the top part. Thankfully took pictures of the product before using it. But then it had this perforation all the way down the side, and I thought, okay, so it has a clear shrink wrap all around the product. I'm supposed to remove that. No, that perforation was for the main label, and I think that's done for recycling purposes, but I don't think I was supposed to take it off right away, so now it's a little bit in the buff. This is kind of a variation on the Cosrx Snail Mizon, which I love, and I'm forgetting the exact name, but I'll put links for everything in the description box. But this one has kind of a more nourishing component, and then the essence here, and when you pump it from the dual pump, they mix together, and you can mix them in your palm and then apply. It's just a wonderfully soothing, nourishing, hydrating product. I love it. My skin loves it, but I also really like the original essence. And I'm actually not super sure which one I prefer. I currently have both of them open and I just cannot make up my mind. The original one is a little bit more gel-like. This one feels a little bit more liquidy, and yet it is a little bit more nourishing. I can definitely see myself just continuing to use both of them off and on throughout my skincare life. I love the original one, and I'm on my second or third bottle of that one. But this one has also been a really good addition to my skincare routine. I just wish I didn't rip off the whole label, because then I could have read you the actual product name. It's okay, I know you know what I mean, and I will put a link to the full review in the description box. Another fave, and I think this is a limited edition, and if you are even a little bit interested in this, I need you to like run and get it, because I have a feeling this is like a time sensitive thing. I don't have any way to confirm that, but I feel like when it was advertised it was like a limited time thing, and it is so fantastic. I think everybody should have it. This is the I'm From Hug Mask. It's the honey and fig special collaboration. Looks like this. It's a wash-off mask. If you're into Korean skincare, you probably already heard about the iconic I'm From honey mask. It's a bit of a polarizing product, but most people love it, myself included. I love it. It is so nourishing. It's a wash-off mask, but it is just wonderfully nourishing for the skin. It's one of my favorite winter products. It just kind of makes my skin happy when it's dry, when it's flaking. It's fantastic. And then the I'm From Fig Mask is a physical exfoliant in a mask form. It has little granules in it, and you apply it, leave it on the face, then gently massage and wash off. Not everybody's into physical exfoliants, but I like a good one if it's gentle, and that one is gentle. It's probably my favorite physical exfoliant, to be honest. Well, this mask combines both of them. It's some of the Fig Mask's exfoliation in the Honey Mask's lovely base. It is a little bit lighter consistency or lighter texture than the Honey Mask. It does have those visible and noticeable fig exfoliation granules, but they're not as many of them. The Fig Mask looks basically like sugar mixed with the mask base, and this one has less of that sugar component. This is so amazing. I am a Tret user, and occasionally I overuse it, and I get a little bit of a peeling patches, but without any pain or compromised skin barrier. It's just my face is flaking a little bit. I don't want to exfoliate to a point where I'm damaging my skin barrier, but I do want to kind of physically slough off those cells. And this honestly is fantastic for it, because the honey part is nourishing, but then the fig part is slightly exfoliating. And I just very gently, I put it on, leave it on for 10 minutes after cleansing while I watch YouTube sitting in my tub. Okay, my guilty pleasure. And then I gently massage it in. You can add a little bit of water and rinse it off. And it's the perfect amount of exfoliation with zero irritation, and the face is glowing. The I'm From Honey Mask tends to leave a little bit of a layer behind, almost like, I don't know, a veil, locking in all the good stuff. This one does not have as much of that layer. So if you didn't like that feeling on the Honey Mask, you might like this one better because it's a little bit lighter. But I want 100 of these. Like, I need more of this in my life. This is one of those instant holy grails that I know I would never give away. If I had 5 of these in backup, as long as they weren't expiring very quickly, I would probably use all 5. This is something that I'm going to hoard. I wanted to love this product. Unfortunately, it's a fail. It's a fail for me, though. It might not be a fail for everybody. This is the Abib Quick Sunstick Protection Bar. I had to actually make a pros and cons list for this product because I couldn't really figure out how to write this review. And I put the list in the review. I'll put that in the description box. Because there are some things I like about it. I like the shape, I like the size, I like the fact that it's completely clear. It has no cast at all. It has no scent. I mean, it has a bit of a scent kind of from the ingredients in it, but it does not have like a floral or a very strong fragrance type of scent. And I love sunsticks in general. I know they're not ideal. I know it's not a perfect way to apply sunscreen if that's your only way of applying sunscreen. I know that the video Lab Muffin made showing how many strokes of sunsticks you need is making rounds, and I love Lab Muffin and all of her content. I just say that for me, for reapplication, the sunstick format is pretty much perfect if I'm on the go, if I'm outside, especially if I'm like hiking or doing something like that, where maybe my hands are not the cleanest. And even if they were clean, maybe I don't want lotion or sunscreen like that on my hands. Sunsticks are great, and just anecdotally, I personally have never burned using sunsticks for reapplication, and I'm very fair, as you can see, but it's almost never my only way of doing sun protection, because I usually have a good layer, good base layer of a regular sunscreen lotion, and then I do the sunstick. The reason this is a no for me is because it leaves a very noticeable, to the touch but not to the eye, very noticeable layer that is not even sticky, it's like balmy. It's like if you spread Vaseline on your face, a thin layer, that's what it feels like. It's kind of slidey. I don't know. And actually in certain light it's shiny. My husband noticed that too, but shiny in a way that face oil is shiny, or like my lips are shiny right now, not in a glittery way. Okay, so I don't love it, and it never really dries down. When I was trying this out, it took probably I tried it out a few times, but one night I put it on and went for a walk, and then did like cooked dinner, whatever, did all these things, and several hours later, finally, my face was not that balmy to the touch, but usually it is. And yeah, I could put translucent powder over it, but then every time I reapply, I have to do more powder. So eventually I'm going to have a cake on my face of oil and powder, right? I don't want that. But I had a sneaking suspicion that people with dry skin would really like this, and that sneaking suspicion seems to be true based on the comments on my review. People with dry or more mature skin do really like it. Their skin absorbs it and they love it. So there's an audience for everybody. I think I'm going to use this up on my neck. I also have another one of these because this must be a new launch and they're doing some PR efforts. So I got another one, and I think that one's going probably to one of my friends because I don't see myself using up more than one of these. Another fave from I'm From. This is the I'm From Mugwort Gel Cleanser. Very gentle, lovely second step cleanser, or first/only step if you're cleansing in the morning. I only cleanse at night. So this is great for me. The one thing that people might not like is the scent. It does not smell like the Mugwort mask or the Mugwort essence. It has its own smell that's pretty strong. And it's a little bit almost like a tea tree medicinal, but with a mix of Mugwort. However, in the way that it smells, like it really feels like it's not going to be gentle, but it is very gentle. So it's a weird cognitive dissonance sort of experience because I would expect it to be harsh based on the aroma, and it's not. I really enjoy it. I really like it. I can look past the smell, but if you're sensitive to scents, maybe try a different cleanser. But for me, this is good, and the scent does not linger. So once I wash my face, rinse it off, I don't ever smell it again until the next time that I use it. So that's really not a deal breaker for me at all. But if you want a cleanser with an awesome scent, that's still a really good cleanser. Try this Mizon Cicaluronic Cleansing Balm. It looks like this. This poor guy sat in my unopened cleanser crate for almost 2 years. It came to me in an advent calendar from YesStyle at the end of 2021, but it has a shelf life until February of 2024 if unopened. So it just sat unopened. Honestly, looking at this, the packaging style isn't really my vibe. My experience with Mizon as a brand, or is it Mizon? I always say Mizon, but correct me if I'm wrong. My experience with this brand has been super hit and miss. When I was first getting into Korean skincare years ago, I got my very first eye cream was by this brand. It was a Snail one, and my eyes did not react well, even though I now know that my skin does completely fine with Snail ingredients because I've had many Snail products since then. But the eye cream dried out my eyes and made them itchy and flaky, so it was just a bad experience, and I don't know. It's not like I hate the brand, but I wasn't jumping out of my pants to try it either. Well, I've been missing out. It's a wonderful cleansing balm. It smells so good, and I can't really even describe it. I'm not good at describing scents. It has the vibes of Bath & Body Works cotton scent from like early 2000s, except somehow more sophisticated and less strong. It's definitely a noticeable fragrance, but it doesn't linger once you wash it off. Again, just like with the I'm From cleanser, don't smell it again. But it's so good. It melts away makeup, sunscreen, it doesn't irritate anything. I'm almost out of it. It's not a big jar. It's only, let's see, it's only 2.7 ounces or 80 milliliters. So it unfortunately didn't last me as long as I would have liked, but it's still a really good product, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, I have 2 wins and 1 fail left. The wins, or the faves, are these 107 products. The cream is not new to me. I had a jar of it a couple of years ago, and that's what made me fall in love with the brand. Their biggest selling point is that they used specially aged vinegar in their skincare, and they even sell that vinegar for consumption, or different versions of that vinegar for consumption. You would never know that this has vinegar in it unless somebody specifically told you, because it doesn't smell like vinegar, it doesn't irritate the skin or anything like that. It is specifically formulated, and it's just like a big hug to the face. I have 2 reviews about this. I have my original one and a renewed one I'll put in the description box, but absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite moisturizers ever. It makes my skin so soft and so smooth, and it's just wonderful. And then this one was a new one to me, and I'm still using it. Obviously, you can see I'm about a quarter of a way down. It's the 107 Micro Drizzle Hydro Toner, one of my favorite hydrating toners for night. And most of the skincare that I show in these videos, I do use at night, just because my morning skincare routine is super basic. It's a rinse the face or use a toner pad, vitamin C, sunscreen, go. That's it. So all of these fun things like toners and moisturizers, I use all of that in the evening, but it's perfectly okay to use that in the morning. Just depends on what your skin needs. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Again, I have a detailed review. Put a link in the description box, but highly recommend. And last but not least, well, kind of least, actually, this is not the worst fail. It's kind of like a meh. This is the Isntree Real Rose Calming Mask. It's a wash-off mask. It's a gel. I can't tell what it's doing. I feel like it's doing nothing. It's for skin-entertainment purposes only. Just basically gives you something to do, and that's it. Because with, let's say, the I'm from Honey Mask, or the I'm from Fig Mask, or the I'm from Hug Mask, or the I'm from Mugwort Mask, or some clay masks by different brands, I can always tell right away what it did. My skin is either more nourished, more hydrated, more, I don't know, velvety from like a clay mask. My pores may be less visible. Maybe the dry patches are gone because the mask was exfoliating. Something, like something happens. Nothing happens with this at all. I don't know. I have another one of these in my stockpile, and I'm going to see if one of my friends wants to try it, because like, seriously, what is the purpose of this? I don't even know what this is supposed to do. Oh, it refreshes the skin, moisturizes dry skin, and relieves sensitive skin. I don't know about sensitive skin with this. It's pretty fragranced. Yeah, it smells like rose. Maybe it's from the natural sources, but still. I mean, the smell is not bad at all. It smells like rose. It's a good scent, but I think for sensitive skin, I'd rather get like the I'm from Mugwort. This is not meant to sound like an I'm from ad, but it is one of my favorite brands, and a lot of their products work really well for my skin. So thank you very much for joining me today. Please share your own fails and faves in the comments. I always love hearing from you. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.